Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. If I sound like I have tested that the whole time, that's true, because that's around the 7th time I'm trying to record now. My name is Rabenschild. Hello and welcome back, people. So, I've made some decisions and I've made some experiments. Decision 1, you can see here, I reduced the container size here because the problem that I have at the moment, or the problem air quotes, is that big small containers get too heavy if I fill them up with steel plates completely. That has to do with the fact that I have set the container size or the inventory size to 10 times normal. Having the realistic size would result in not having 1,000 tons with a big small container that drop out of orbit. It results in just having 100 tons. Dropping 100 tons from orbit with 8 or so parachutes works out pretty fine. But I also don't want to reduce my my inventory size, because I fancy not having to run for resupply all the time, even if I have the build and repair system and the nanites and all that stuff. So again, container size reduced. This one has instead of the 150,000, 33,000, roughly 1/5 of the size. This filled with steel plates means 200 tons. 200 tons means that with this amount of parachutes, this should work out. So everything is set up. A new one is built here. I can fill that up now, or I can lock that and then fill that up with some. Let me go and lock that. Can I grab that from here? I should be able to. Yes. Sorry for doing that again. I wanted to do something completely different today. Come on, no, I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to do something completely different, and I will start with that definitely today. So this one I can drop now, but what we do now is basically we replace this thing. I want to get rid of this basically small rocket and want to get something a bit bigger and a bit more powerful. And I want it to be able to lift this small cargo container now out of the atmosphere, even if it's full, because then I have the option to eventually bring something back. We don't know if in the future something changes where I'm able to get something on the planet that I'm not able to get in orbit, basically. So I could bring up ice or resources or whatever that's on the planet that, again, that needs to be in orbit. Don't know, we could put in oxygen containers. I don't know what's possible there. So we will have to see. Down there I need some materials now, because my experiment wasted a lot of stuff, and then I also had to crash. I've built a small skimmer to basically get around on the planet, and this one crashed. I died and lost stuff. It's not a good recording day today. So this one we can get rid of. Basically, there shouldn't be anything left in there that we really need. So what I will do is I will just paint it, and the system should be able to remove it. So the new one, I want it to have not only the basically, I wanted to be able to fly in the atmosphere with atmospheric thrusters. And I want to have not oxygen, hydrogen thrusters to get into orbit. In orbit, I will just give it some small maneuvering thrusters. So we will use some of the small thrusters just to maneuver it in this area here, because we will only have getting up and down. This thing will not fly around in space like crazy, so yeah, we don't need a lot of power to just maneuver it in place, basically. Is this one not set up to dismantle stuff? It's not. So let me turn on the rest of the system. So this one then gets removed. The drill needs remodeling too, but that will not happen today. Let me get it out of the way, at least a bit, so that I can build in the area. So I had in the last world on the planet basically a ship that I intended to have some similar things. I wanted to be able to transport containers into orbit, and changes in the atmospheric thrusters and all that stuff made this not really possible. So this time we will build something similar like the ship I had there, maybe a bit bigger, and maybe then we can fulfill what I had in the last world, basically. Good. What do we need? We need atmospheric thrusters, we need hydrogen thrusters, I need ion thrusters. Then we will go and use a cockpit. I need a cockpit and gyros. I always use this cockpit, gyro, a big reactor. I have some blocks on me, and I should change the color again. Good. So let me start with the usual. Some blocks that I can later remove with, maybe I will put in the big container now. The good thing is that up here I didn't lose too much stuff. It seems that when the ship is not loaded, there is no monstrous loss of material when you start to experiment with container sizes. That's by the way a good thing. Let me get this. No. Oh, and I need to replace my grinder. I lost my good grinder. What a loss. Okay, this is just my startup. How I usually start ships, because now I can go in, put some uranium in there, and I have something that is stable, and then I can build around the reactor. Uranium, just get 100. That should be enough for now. Why is nothing removing this ship? What? Do I have something that prevents it on there? I don't know. Let me investigate for a second. Oh, I'm losing parts. That's not right. Okay, but now it works. Everything. It seems that this thing is not in range. I don't understand that, but now everything's good. Okay, I will build around the reactors, I would say. So what I need now is I will need a connection for the something that I can connect the connectors to. So let me get conveyors. I want to have the big ones here to be able to deal with, okay, this and this. Hello? Why don't you work? There's no connection point. That's not right. Give me some more conveyors, the small ones. I want to have the connector or the conveyor the conveyor thing there, the small conveyor or the big conveyor, so that I can have a connection down for a connector that I will use to eventually connect the cargo containers to, and maybe be able to have maybe a small one on the ship or a medium one. That could work out too, to have one there that I can then use to store at least some components in there. I have to see how much stuff I can transport with it. So now I have a good point where I can connect this stuff to. Let me rotate this. Or is it better to go that way? It doesn't really matter, or? Okay, then we go this way. Now, another connection here. The reactor is now connected up, although I normally don't like that, so I will have to have a start-up reactor somewhere that is just there to be able to start the whole business. Okay, one thing I want to do here is have another conveyor system to maybe be able to put another reactor behind it. That would be good. Yeah, and for the hydrogen thrusters, I need that stuff anyways. I need conveyor connections to everything. Oh, I didn't think about that. Maybe no. The ice or the hydrogen needs to be led to everything anyways. This build will be a bit more intricate because I'm not used to building with hydrogen. This stuff is easy because now here the hydrogen is connected up to just the middle thing there, and then it works. But here I will have to definitely go and put in some more thoughts how to build with the conveyor lines and all that stuff. This will be a lot different than I'm getting into stuff that I'm not used to. Good, but that's how you learn. So okay, a connector on the bottom. I will even test that. Connect a container to that and then see how far I can go down with the landing legs. I want to have fixed landing legs. I had that with the other one too. I had something similar that it looked a bit spidery, and I will use that again. Okay, let me... What the... That was a big boom. Ooh. Okay, so the connector on the bottom. Connector here. This is okay. That can stay that way. Now, I will have to decide where to put hydrogen tanks. I think I will put them on the upper side. So we define this as down. This one will be the upper side. Hydrogen tanks on the upper side. Let me take a look at how big are these. Can I? No, I can't. I would have to. Can I put them on the side and then integrate them? Maybe I can go a bit back and then have them there. That would work out too. Okay, let me build up a backbone for that thing. So I want to have raised arms. So I want to from the middle go a bit to the side, then go a bit up, slightly up, have the thrusters on some raised arms, and then on the back side maybe have something that stabilizes it, and the front will have the last thing I compared to, I don't know if you know these, the Elvis, I think Elvis helicopters they are called. They are these helicopters that they use to build bridges, and I think they are used to fight fire in forest fires and all that stuff. So have it basically in the middle, have the cargo load, and then a cockpit that is roughly the same height as the cargo load, and then we this is maybe even too this already could be too far. Let me get rid of this again and then just go a bit back. I hope, by the way, the sound is not too loud. I will have to take a look at that in post. 3 and then another 3, and the cockpit will be one more down. 3. Cockpit will be here, so have it somewhere here. Then I could have a small or a medium size cargo container somewhere here, and I will put the cockpit somewhere here. That's okay-ish. Let me grab this, remove this again, and then have this here. Okay. The cockpit needs a connection too, so that I can have okay, I know what I will do. I will put the an oxygen generator here. That should help us with oxygen production. And then we just need to lay some pipes to the backside. This, I definitely want to make this one a bit nicer than the last one I had. And the last one I at one point just tried to put more and more atmospheric thrusters on it, and that didn't really work out. So let me get the oxygen generator. No. Okay. Let me get this there. And now how to lay. Okay, I can have. I will put some gyros here. Put a medium cargo container somewhere here. Is there? Okay, this doesn't really work out. Now I can have a connection up here, so I could go from here to the front, connect it to here. Ice should go through there. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, that's how I will do it. Let me grab my grinder again. I will do just a bit of work. I don't want to leave you out of this, but just let me get a bit of work done, and then I will come back to you and basically explain what I've done here. Okay, that's what I have at the moment. So it doesn't look like much, but again, I want to have, don't know, it's more of an insect bird-like shape, basically. I also want to put on solar panels again. Some of you can remember, most of you can remember the last season, and in the end of the last season world, basically I built a small transporter that also was thought for atmospheric flight and all that stuff, and I basically had the idea to have something that a bit looks like an insect with solar panels as wings on the backside, and I kind of want to go for something like that too again. That would be nice. So as far as I know, one of these big engines, let us go and take a look. One of the big engines, how much power can they put out? At the moment, the whole thing weighs, I think, just 22 tons. That's at the moment nothing. Let us see what this thing can put out. Is there a way to get to it? No. So maybe through here. Thruster. Hydro. Maximum 400 kilonewtons. At the moment, this thing could carry it up with just one thruster, but we will go for at least two of the big ones on the sides here. And then for maneuvering, I will go for small ones. Also atmospheric thrusters for the big ones. I have to take a look at that, what they can do, because the atmospheric thrusters I just want to have for atmospheric flight, so that I can, if I want, maneuver containers. That's mainly what I want to do with it. It's all purpose, an all purpose get around. Oh, I can't see it because I'm not in the atmosphere. If someone of you would be so nice to let me know what it must be something similar, but they use a lot more power. That's one of the things. Oh no. See ya. Good. Okay, I will have to experiment with that. This on the ground, I definitely want to have atmospheric thrusters on the back too, and I'm not sure if I want to go with small ones or big ones. How maneuverable do I want it? Should it be a good atmospheric flyer too, or do I just need some small in the back and in the front to get basically to just have some thrust to maneuver it? If I don't want to go cover huge areas with it, then I might just go with small thrusters, so that it can just maneuver pretty well in a pretty small area. For longer flights, you want to have more powerful thrusters, so that it doesn't take ages to speed up and all that stuff. That's what I mean by that. Maybe you have an opinion on that. That would be neat. Okay, that's what I basically the first start that I want to go with. I want to have, yeah, again, this a bit of a bow shape here, and then have the same shape in here too. Hope you can see that. It looks a bit more aggressive, although this ship will absolutely not be aggressive. And then this is the height of one of the containers, and that's how I basically want to measure out the landing legs. I want to have a similar bow shape in the landing legs, so have a landing leg coming back to here and have one coming back to the, or two coming back to the front. If I really want to make it insect-like, I maybe add another landing leg to the back. I'm not sure yet. We will hopefully talk about that in the comments. So, and I want to end it here now. I will do a bit of work in between the episodes, build on that, maybe make this part a bit wider. At the moment it feels not wide enough, I have the feeling, or this whole thing here could be a bit wider, so it really gets, how's that called in English, the wingspan. That's so the thing is, I don't want to make it too big, because I added these connectors to be able to connect to this area here, and if I go too wide, I might not be able to fit into that, or I might have to change the layout here too, but that would be okay. I really should go for more standardization. That would be neat. Maybe build something like in that shape to go up and down too. It's I at one point lose my idea of standardization, kind of. So to have a design line basically through all the ships that I'm building, I could maybe have a second, again, something more in that shape as a shuttle up and down. I'm not sure. We will have to see. Good, but now I have the idea of this in my head. I want to recreate the ship that I had in the last world. Good people. I would say that's all for today. Again, I tried so many recordings today that I definitely want to end it here now. I hope you liked the start of this ship. If you have ideas for that, then let me please know. Give me your opinion on the cargo containers. Again, I want to reduce the size but keep the form factor for now. To maybe be able, don't know, maybe they change something with the parachutes in the future where they make the parachutes scale up with inventory size. That would be neat, because then yeah, you could use the bigger containers in here, and it would, yeah, still be able to catch itself on the way down and all that stuff. Not sure. Good people, thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. By the way, take a look at the description, take a look at the collection with the mods I'm using here, take a look at my Patreon, take a look at all that stuff that's down there. Follow me on Twitter, that's also always a good thing, because then you can see when stuff comes out. I sometimes have the feeling YouTube ignores when I put out stuff. I'm not sure. Good. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. See ya, guys.